presentation about challenging Wi-Fi design norms. You're welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Am I good mic-wise? Okay, good. So I was just having a conversation with Dan because following up UC and 3D objects is going to be kind of hard today. So I think I'm going to change this to my soapbox. So I'm going to talk about some things that are pretty controversial and some opinions because I've had the benefit since moving to Europe to go all over the world. I go and see customers, I see Wi-Fi networks, I talk to people for a living now. And so it's interesting to see some of the things that are happening in the industry still today that we need to kind of change. So I will start off with my disclaimer. This is my opinion. You might not agree with me. If you don't, I love a good debate. I love sit down, have a beer, let's talk about it. But other than that, this is not Juniper's opinion, this is mine. So before I start, the reason why I got into Wi-Fi was I feel it's the last art left in IT. When you build a wired network, you configure it, it either works or it doesn't work. Wi-Fi is the only place in the world where you can build Wi-Fi for two exactly same buildings in different locations and get two different effects. So for me, I'm a big art fan, so you'll see a lot of art quotes in here. So I'm a big fan of learn the rules like a pro, so you can break them like an artist. So how we're going to start with, my first thing is let's talk about how we are deploying APs and how we're orientating them and AP selection. So who thinks this is a bad placement? Anybody? Anybody? Don't place them on the walls like that, correct? And we can interact, it's okay. So, oh yeah, there's multiple things wrong, yes. Yeah. So, placing APs on the wall has been typically called bad, correct? This is not how this AP was designed to work. I'm gonna say you're wrong. So, this lovely human being didn't want to be noticed, so he's a green smiley face. He gets to be Marvis today. So, what we did is I didn't have Homina back in the day, so I had to use another tool to do this and do actual practice. This is a fire escape, concrete pillar. This company wanted their Wi-Fi in the fire escape. They were willing to pay the fees for doing so. So we could have mounted it like this and put an AP every single floor, but instead we wall mounted the AP like so, and we're able to use the reflections of the staircase, which you can now see in Homina. So I had to do it by hand before, to actually start going to where I'm actually using an AP every other floor. I've saved them money because actually the funny thing is the AP is not the most expensive thing here. It's putting the conduit through the wall and then sealing it for the fire marshal. So, next, who uses external antennas in office buildings? Anybody? Well, you work for Mist, you should. This company is here. So I've never seen a facilities department that will go in. I know, sorry. I apologize. This is a competitor's project. This was supposed to be a neutral presentation. Never seen a company who has had every 6 months their facilities department went through and redid the entire office. Like desks picked up, moved completely. So, who here knows what a whisper pod is? Like those little pods that you go in and you sit in. Depending on what you get, they're about a 20 dB loss. They really can screw up your wireless network if somebody decides to just drop one right here. So what we ended up doing was, this company has them all over, is I could have done one Omni in this lovely building, in this little area, but what happened was, oops, facilities came around, dropped a whisper pod. So the idea is we actually put external antennas everywhere coming down to make zones. So I can change this area, but I'm not going to screw everybody around here. So ideas and thinking about this is you're not supposed to see that slide yet, sorry. When we're doing deployments and things like that, it's okay to think outside of the box. I mean, this guy puts the APs under desks. So, I mean, don't be afraid of RF. RF is our friend. Attenuation is our friend. Use the APs and do things that you need to do when you need to do them. All right, so Do we have any security people in here? Anybody? Any firewall guys? Anybody? Good, because some pissed them off. I hate fear-mongering. Who here has been in a presentation where somebody said, if you don't move to WPA3, you're going to get hacked? Anybody? Yep, there's one. So, I'd hate to tell you this, but that's BS. So, I don't like it. So, I asked ChatGPT, because I'm an AI, I work for an AI company, I got to use AI, right? WPA2, what's wrong with it? People is wrong with it. What happens when we go to WPA3? What's wrong with WPA3? People. Moving to WPA3, I'm not saying don't do it. You should. It's a good technology. But people come in and tell you you have to do it today. I don't know how many customers' networks I have seen gone down because they jumped to WPA3 because somebody told them they had to, but none of their client devices supported it. No, their infrastructure wasn't ready for it. So don't fall for have to do it today. Plan for it. Do it appropriately. Make a scheduled plan. But in that case, you don't still need it. So here's 3 real-world examples of a company. This is a global enterprise that actually runs an open network. You can walk down the street in Hollywood and go see them if you'd like and join their SSID. They do all of their security at layer 7. So they have a completely fast, free, frictionless, and open network. This is a very global nonprofit. They use a PSK. You've seen them on TV. Over here is a large college and the university. This one I actually talk about. This one's Stanford. This is one of the largest universities in the world. Probably a pretty big target for hacking. They're using open access. And so security is good, but make sure you understand why you're doing the security. Just don't listen to somebody that says you have to do it today. This one still is actually a thing. Who here static channel plans? I mean, Juicy's in the room, so don't raise your hand because he'll be set. Oh, we do have people who actually, this is the first time I've done this and somebody's actually raised their hand. Okay. Is it the only thing you use? Do you use RRM as well? Okay, so see, not the only way. So we've come to this time in future, and I'm going to use Juniper because obviously I kind of work for the company. But every vendor's RRM has made leaps and bounds. 5 years ago, static planning was the only way. But we need to start getting to a point where we start trusting the systems we use. I don't know how many times I've walked into a customer and they're like, well, I static channel planned and it sucked. Well, of course, because you planned it on a Tuesday. Today's now Wednesday. The network has changed. So use RRM the way it is, and hopefully I can get nobody raising their hands next time. Because as you can see, we've gotten to a point now where we do a really good job. I think ours is the best. But there's other companies out there that do it as well. And then, what is perfect Wi-Fi? Somebody's got to answer me this. What is perfect Wi-Fi? Somebody? Shh. Somebody from this side, because this side has already been too active. Somebody tell me what perfect Wi-Fi is. What's that? Ooh, that's a good answer. You need all of this to make perfect Wi-Fi. Perfect Wi-Fi is the Wi-Fi that meets the customer's requirements. I don't know how many times I've walked in and said, oh, I need 0 co-channel interference. That's not possible. You're going to get co-channel interference. Things we need to start understanding that as a network, making the customer experience happy is perfect Wi-Fi. And guess what? If a customer's happy, do I need to worry about that little bit of over-attenuation or that little leakage from that AP in the corner? It's fine. A couple co-channel and 2.4. We need to come back, and we have gone through as Wi-Fi people and said, I've got to chase this dream. It's just, the dream is making a customer happy. But if you can do all of those things and make perfect Wi-Fi, please show me the plan. Hamana, we'll be good. Lastly, never challenging and asking questions. Like, I don't know how many times I've walked in and the customer says, I need 100 gigabits per client, per user on my wireless, 24/7, zero latency. I need to run 4 Teams calls at the same time. Nobody has ever asked why. Like, how many times, each of our clients have 3 devices or 4 devices. And so how many of them are on at the same time? They don't know these things. We need to start asking and trying to understand what our clients needs to give them the right solution, not just go, well, they said they needed this, and now you have 700 APs in a room. Like, Ilpo would be happy if you sell 700 APs. But then Tommy's going to be mad because he's got to spend his life there trying to fix why there's 700 APs in the building. So as we're doing this, fit the solution. Just because a customer says they want it doesn't mean that that's what they need. So find that solution with them. Ask them questions. Ask them why. Why do you want Wi-Fi 7? Do you have Wi-Fi 7 devices in your industry? I mean, sorry, we did a Wi-Fi 7 talk, and I'm going to beat up on it just a little bit. But who here needs Wi-Fi 7 today? Anybody? Sorry, Elpo. I'm not selling new APs today. But that's the thing. Infrastructure isn't ready. I don't know how many people have come to me and said, I got to have the latest and greatest. But you can't use it because when's your client refresh cycle? When are you getting new laptops in to support it? So asking these questions can help you actually become more of a trusted friend to your customer, because then they're like, okay, you're not trying to just sell me crap. You're trying to make sure I have a good day at the end of the day. And in the long run, it helps you because you're not having to actually go sit in that customer site and fix that 700 AP problem. So as I finish up, it's think outside the box, collapse the box, take a sharp knife to the box. The idea is Wi-Fi is an art. It's as much art as it is science. So as we are going through your day and as you're playing with Wi-Fi, just think about the different things you can do. Again, APs under desks, APs in the floors. I've put APs in walls. You do all kinds of things because RF is magic. Let's just call it what it is. It's still magic. So be experimental. Find new ways. Meet your customers' demands by thinking outside of the box. So with that, thank you for listening to a random American in Europe.